Now let's bring to you the latest news headlines. Now we start from the church, and the General Overseer of the Action Chapel International Ministry, the Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams, is intensifying the campaign to raise funds for the construction of the controversial National Cathedral amidst fresh concerns from leading national figures, including former President John Dramani Mahama and Jerry John Rawlings. The Archbishop, who is also the chairman for the fundraising committee, paid a courtesy call on the Speaker of Parliament to officially invite him for the fundraising event later this week. While speaking to JoyNews shortly after the visit, he indicated the two former presidents had expressed their own personal concerns about the project.
Giving us their blessings, and they've brought up their concerns and issues that they think we should address and look at, which we are dealing with.
Would you be mindful to share a few with us, the issues you're supposed to deal?
I mean, not necessarily, you know. I mean, I'll prefer they saying it themselves instead of me speaking for them. But as I said, you know, whatever concerns they have and the public have, it has come to our attention. And we are addressing them, you know, at the background. And pretty soon our secretariat will be coming out with a media department or a PR department to be addressing some of these issues, and then we will all come on air at different times, you know, to engage you and then to talk to you, because we need to make sense of a lot of the things that are going around, some of the speculations and all that. And I think that we can make sense out of it if we bring clarity to a lot of the unanswered questions out there. I don't see it as something that is so difficult, because we are flexible. You know, we believe in this country. We don't want confusion. We want peace. And we will do everything to bring the country together and not to have the country divided over a national cathedral.
Already, the Speaker of Parliament, Professor Michael Quay, is urging Ghanaians to support the construction of the project, which he describes as a worthy cause.
I would like to add my voice to the fact that kindly let us all appreciate what the President has conceptualized and help these ladies and gentlemen, and also men and women of God, who we all know already as men and women of God, to achieve this. In Ghana, we really pride ourselves as a Christian country. We are some 70% plus of the population. We also live peacefully with others who prefer other religions. Nevertheless, we should symbolize that which we practice. And I think to have a national cathedral cannot be a bad idea at all, and is worthy of every support. What is very significant is the fact that this is not going to be a state institution. And it's very, very important so that the church itself is not swallowed by the state. It's something that we all don't want. And that goes to the issue of freedom of religion enshrined, among others, in our constitution, and which we Ghanaians take pride in.
Moving on, the Minister for Regional Reorganization and Development, Daniel Botwe, says government has tried as much as possible not to be involved in the voting process. A special poll on the proposed creation of the 6 new regions organized in some 47 districts in the Bunafo, the Western, Northern voter regions, ended some minutes or some hours ago. Mr. Dambotwe says government will accept the people's decision.
We have restrained ourselves. That's why there is the internal struggle. Because in this whole process, we are supposed to facilitate.
Okay.
We don't take sides.
Okay.
We don't tell anybody to go and vote yes. We don't tell anybody to go and vote no. We are not mobilizing for people to vote yes. It is the duty of those who petitioned.
Okay.
Yes. You know, so this is something that has been carried on in our constitutions all this while. They've always had discussion on territories of Ghana, and they have always explained in the constitution that you can get a new region, you can merge 2 or more regions, or you can alter the boundary of an existing region. Yeah. And there are 2 things, at least if you make reference to 92. Yeah. Article 5.2 says that if people petition for any of these 3 things, then it triggers the process. Mr. President, seek advice or Council of State. Then Article 5.3 says that even if nobody petitions, Mr. President on his own can trigger the process. If Mr. President had gone by 5.3, then maybe we will have a bit more of, the duty to explain more and get people to, because that time Mr. President says, I want to create 6 regions. It's my own initiative. Okay. But he came by, he accepted 5.2, where it is the petitioners. So from day one, Mr. President had explained that it's demand-driven. The government is not going to spend a peso in the campaigning process to campaign to vote for yes or campaign to vote no. So we are not involved in that.
The minister also said government is ready for any eventuality or outcome after the referendum.
We've told them, yes, it's 6 regions, proposed regions. Even the names are still proposed. Yeah, it's important to emphasize that. And so if on 27th, incidentally exactly a week today, if we finish and only 1 proposed region was able to cross the 50% turnout mark and 80% of those who vote yes, then we have only 1. So we'll have 11. If 2, we'll have 12. If none, it will remain 10. If we got all the 6, we'll have 16. So that's how it is. And the onus is on the petitioners and the people who, petitioners, the chiefs and the opinion leaders who petition on behalf of their people. That is their work. We are not campaigning. So it's not as if government is going to be marked and said, well, if you got only 1 region, then government, you have failed. No, not at all.
Have you thought of an adventure this Christmas holidays? How about descending from a 50-meter high hill while hanging on a rope? Well, my colleague Justice Beidou went to the Shy Hills to meet the team, hoping to build Ghana's first abseiling expedition adventure, which could also boost tourism whilst helping holiday makers keep fit.
The Shy Hills, one of Ghana's hidden treasures. High mountains overlooking the lush green plains at the foot of the hills.
Delta 2, this is 09, do you copy, over?
It is on top of these hills, 50 meters high, that a team of hikers led by JoyNews Segbefia from Braveheart Expeditions are taking people through abseiling, descending from atop the hills on tight ropes.
Okay. So these hills and outcrops have been here for as long as any Ghanaian can remember, but they offer unique adventure opportunities. As you can see, we're trying to abseil, or we've been abseiling it all day. And not just here, we have 2 or 3 different sites in the Shy Hills Reserve itself. The Krobo Hills also has 5 rock climbing and abseiling spots. And typically we know that these rocks are good for quarries, but that's not all these rocks are good for. Okay, there's always a place for your feet.
Yeah, I've come here to do this adventure with Jijo Clarke, who, like me, is doing this for the first time.
Super.
To do this, you have to hold the rope tightly. The rope is hooked to a belt which goes around your waist and 2 ties.
It's pretty challenging. It keeps your heart pumping, your blood pumping and all that. There are lots of things to do here. So many opportunities, so many things to see. And when we do it as Ghanaians and we put it out there, these days there's so much social media. As a Ghanaian lady, if I post it on my Instagram, for instance, a lot of my friends will see it. My friends outside may see it. And so when they choose to come here, these are things we could do together.
According to JoyNews, injuries through this are highly unlikely. But you need a crash helmet just in case something goes wrong.
The difference between success and failure on an abseil rig really is life and death. If a person successfully goes through this, and then you go back to the office or to the home life, you will never really be put in a position where decision making is a life and death situation. It will take quite a lot of force to move this rock, and a human cannot generate that kind of force. Then we have the metal connectors in between to ensure that they all take the shocks. Okay, then ultimately there's the rope. So every level, the harnesses, the helmets, everything that is given to the client is to ensure that they are totally safe.
This abseiling
is the first in many ways. It is the first commercial abseil in Ghana. And for me, the first time I'm having to descend a 50-meter hill down a rope. To the right? Okay. I'm almost here. Ouch!
Justice Bedu, JoyNews, in the Shy Hills.
Thank you.
I know black people, you know, abseil, you know the way they do it. You know, the whites. I say yes, Rubisa. But don't worry. But that'll be it for the wrap up of the news.